Hello everyone, so today we're actually going to be approaching this current piece here. So last time in my previous videos I have actually done plum blossom, and these are the basic characteristics of plum blossom. There's usually either red or it's usually white. So in this particular painting it's a white plum blossom painting with a few birds. So today we're actually going to be focusing more on the birds. Okay, so plum blossom is more like giving these birds like a framing the birds in this painting, and also yeah, they're the main sort of subjects in the painting. So the plum blossom will be like a supporting sort of element to bring this piece alive. So I'll show you how to do the birds first, and then later on I'll do the plum blossom afterwards. If you look at this painting, you can sort of see that this painting is mainly black and white, but also possibly a bit of blue and a bit of yellow, yellow greenish sort of colors for the flowers. More yellow-red for the eyes, and a bit of blue for the beak. Okay, so you have to prepare your palettes. Okay, a bit of blue. I'll get my yellows ready. No white. Possibly, if we do need a bit of white, we'll probably use it for the plum blossom. But yeah, mainly black first. Okay, so I'll show everyone how to do the bird. So basically our paintbrush, okay, what we need is dry ink. Okay, just make sure your brush is dry as possible. Okay, make sure there's not too much excess ink on your painting, or I mean on your brush. So I'll try to work on this first bird here. That's probably our main sort of subject in this piece. So this one here, if I'll try to get them all into this one piece of paper. Okay. So here it's basically trying to do a triangle for the beak. Okay. So we're actually seeing the chin of the bird first. So we'll have to make this the bottom of the beak to be slightly bigger than the one on top, and afterwards, okay, a circle for the eyes. Now this line of the beak should go underneath the eyes. Okay, so you can do the pupils. Okay, so my bird will probably be slightly different to the one that's shown here. Everyone's sort of style can be slightly different. Okay, so maybe a little bit of the head in the front, and then drawing a line to draw the head. So you have to sort of imagine that's the shape of the head, keeping that in mind. Now here, this first stroke, coming around. So this the pattern on the bird, okay, it's up to you whether you want to actually leave the white space to create that visual, or you can actually use the white paint. Okay, so it's up to you. So you need to know where to stop. Okay, so that's the neck of the bird going down. Okay, so after this we'll have to try to visualize, okay, where the shoulders is going to be. Okay, so the shoulder. So here it's from your own judgment. Okay, so I'll probably come from here, shoulders coming around. So you can have the shoulders high, doesn't matter. Okay, so that's probably where I'm going to start, where the body will be. Okay, so here I'm brushing it very quickly. Okay, so this is like the fella. Okay, the chest, so it's a bit sort of defines the center line of this subject. Okay, so at this point of time my brush is quite dry, okay? As you can see, it's not bleeding too much. If it's bleeding, that means there's too much water in your brush, okay? So that's another shoulder on this side, okay? So here we can just quickly brush, okay? So that's the chest, okay? Chest of the bird. Now if you can look at here, the wings also comes out, okay? Or the right wing is here. So we might need a bit more ink. So coming up. So if your brush is slightly too dry, you just have to dip it slightly into the water and mix it with the ink slightly if your ink's dry. Now in this painting, the branch actually comes around like so. So here we could use the blue to create the feet, okay? So 2 feet, and the tail will come out here. So this tail is actually just visualizing where it's coming from, okay? Like so. And this few strokes afterwards, our brush needs to be in water and try to scrape off any excess black ink, okay? So we want to dilute our brush slightly. So use a scrap piece of paper, absorb some, okay? And then if your brush is just in water, you have to be quick, okay? So the tail's quite long. Might touch it up here. Okay, so that's our first bird. Okay. Okay, our second one. Again, try to dry your brush a bit. Not too much ink. So usually if your brush is in water, you just have to make sure you test it first, okay? So the next one is actually, this bird is looking at this one. So I'll have this one looking up. So because my brush is quite wet, so I'm gonna go quite quick with my strokes, okay? So like I said, my sort of way of painting this is slightly different to this artist, okay? You're looking at this bird. And if you don't want your strokes to bleed, just make sure your brush is dry, dip it into the dark ink. I forgot a few tiny hair that comes out in front of the bird, okay? Coming back to this one, so one in the chest, okay, coming across. So his body's facing this direction and the head is facing that direction. So we're going to see more of the left wing on this side. So the shoulders. Okay, few quick strokes, okay, to give texture on the feathers, okay. And then basically you see the feet here. And the branch comes across. And the wings are actually behind this branch, okay? So you see a little bit coming here in the tail. So again, just diluting my brush. That's pretty much it for this bird. And then we have one which is basically the body will be on top, the head will be at the bottom. So this one might be a little bit tricky. Again, making my brush dry. So I have to make sure my brush is nice and pasty-like, okay? Therefore it won't bleed. So I'll try to make the mouth, the beak, circle for the eyes, okay? And basically the neck will be on top. So I have to see if you could push the brush upward, okay? So this one's more like a fan on top, so I have to try to create that shape. Okay, and then the shoulder comes out from this point here. Another shoulder comes out here. Okay, so that's where two wings is going to be. The tail will be on top. Okay, we probably didn't give enough space for this bird. That's alright. Okay. Doing the wings. So with the wings, if this is the body, okay, we'll have to so very small ones close to the bottom, okay, and two long ones, okay, at the back. Probably this area here too long, okay, we'll have to be mindful. So from here, we'll add a leg that comes out, okay, to the side. A little bit bigger, and draw it very quickly. And then we do the feet, okay, that comes out on this side. Okay, so this branch actually comes underneath this bird. Okay, and the tail is here. So just have to be mindful of the proportion of this top one, okay, because it's at a different angle to the ones at the bottom. So alright, so that's roughly how you do the first bird, okay, and just adding some touch-ups with a bit of water into the blue, adding a bit of color. So going back to this first one, because that one should be dry. Okay. So some blue feet, blue beak. Okay. And add some blue for the feathers if you want. Okay. And later on we'll touch up with the eyes with a bit of yellow. Alright. So that's the birds.